and amounts sought to be remitted, and provides relevant financial, insolvency, asset or other evidence supports the tax waiver. The Commissioner General aims the evidence, amount proposed for the remission, reasons, fiscal implications, and considerations for alternatives. From Commissioner General, the Minister responsible for finance reviews the case and may request further information if necessary. All the relevant information is for remission, Parliament seeking approval. The Parliament then debates the merits and demerits of granting the remission and the should be remitted or not. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, when Parliament approves the Minister's request area for approving the waiver, Mr. Speaker, sir, and members, the taxpayer may be considered for remission only where the Commissioner General is satisfied evidence that the whole or part of the tax liability cannot be effectively recovered by reason of hardship, impossibility, and due difficulty, or excessive cost of recovery in line with the law. To that end, the criteria includes the following. 1. Mr. Speaker, is hardship. This test is satisfied when it is determined that payment of liability or continued recovery action would be proportionate to the revenue likely to be realized. The question is whether the liability can reasonably be corrected without depriving the taxpayer or taxpayers dependents of the basic necessities or affecting an otherwise viable business. In determining hardship, URA considers all relevant circumstances, including number 1, for individuals, URA considers whether payment would deprive the taxpayer or a taxpayer's dependents of reasonable access to food, accommodation, clothing, medical care, education, or other essential living requirements. The relevant circumstances may include serious illness or disability, permanent incapacity, loss of employment or unemployment, exceptional medical expenses, death of the principal income earner, natural disasters, or other catastrophic events, and any other circumstance resulting in genuine financial distress. When it is a business, URA considers current liquidity and cash flow, realistic access to finance, working capital requirements, existing financial obligations, the viability of the enterprise, the likely effect of recovery on employment, production, and future tax compliance, and whether enforcement would unnecessarily affect an otherwise viable business. Mr. Speaker and members, hardship does not include temporary cash flow constraints, reduced profitability, commercial inconvenience, a preference to use available funds for expansion or investment in satisfaction with the assessment, or a mere unwillingness to pay. During the analysis, URA also considers the extent to which the taxpayer contributed to the creation or escalation of the tax liabilities and reckless disregard of tax obligations or serious corporate governance failures. These weighing strongly against the remission to recover the tax liability from. 2. A company has been dissolved or fully liquidated without assets. 3. Bankruptcy or insolvency proceedings leave no dividend attained. Another factor, right Honorable Speaker, and due difficulty exists where the recovery remains possible in theory but deliberate default, genuine error, or circumstances beyond the taxpayer's control. 3. The taxpayer's cooperation and disclosure of assets, 4. Objective criteria, transparent procedures, and clear institutional responsibilities. This policy seeks to ensure that permission is exercised only in those exceptional cases where continued recovery no longer serves the interest of sound tax administration or the public interest. In doing so, it preserves confidence in the integrity of Uganda's tax system while ensuring that the statutory discretion conferred by Parliament is exercised in a principled, accountable, and consistent manner. Right Honourable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, and I do want to thank Thank you very much, Right Honourable, and I do want to thank the Minister for the statement. I just have about 3 points. One is where the law is being abused by the Minister. The Minister brings waivers for taxes like pay as you earn, which taxes are deducted. So the employer is more someone who is just keeping this money on behalf of government, is receiving it from his employees and remitting to government. So these cases, in my view, some of them are not justified. Right Honourable, when you look at section 41 of the TPC, the allocation rules, this is something that should be implemented, but currently, many people are facing challenges because the law is not implemented properly. When I pay my tax, it is supposed to first go and clear my principal, then the penal tax and interest later on. But you'll find that someone's taxes keep accumulating because URA wants to clear some of the interest, some of the penal tax, and some of the outstanding principal. So they keep accumulating, and in the end, many people fail to pay these taxes. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker and members, I've seen scenarios where URA and the Ministry of Finance, they're demanding people taxes in over 20 years back. For someone is being demanded taxes of 2013, 2010, and yet in the laws that we made in the previous Parliament, we put a provision where anyone who has an outstanding tax as of 2016, the entire tax, the principal, the penalties, and everything should be cleared off. And then those of you who are clearing off your taxes in this current financial year, as long as you pay your outstanding principal, they should waive off the entire interest and penalty. But we see people still being demanded these huge sums. Thank you. That's another thing.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want a bill rate of looking at the application for tax waivers as a member of the Finance Committee and as a Karim. And please, you don't discuss. Yes, I'm not going into the details. I'm giving a general. You have collected the 6%, but you have refused to remit to URA, and you are claiming that you have difficulty because you have used the money maybe to buy an iPhone for your girlfriend. So that's not our problem. This now, for companies which are involved in tax exempted, you pay them fully. So how come you go to money to pay this one fully, and then me contributing? I hope no one is asking for such an exemption. That would be weird. It's just a kind of fun. How that would happen.
Criteria. Because the whole country has been asking, how are these tax waivers, even how are the taxpayers selected? That's about the governance framework for tax expenditures. And that document was well arranged, indicating the objectives. We have copies here that we derived from your website. Yes, and they are presented by the minister. So that document indicated very well the objectives, the rationale, but this one leaves the readers to fish out these very important introductory statements, which the minister should have clarified in his presentation. The other issue, Right Honourable Speaker, the minister also doesn't clearly state the responsibilities of the key stakeholders in these documents. For instance, the taxpayer, the ministry, the URA, and so on and so forth. I think it would have been prudent.
Thank you. Honourable Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the Uganda Revenue Authority always tracks and has data on compliance of VAT, on how many people are not filing up, all entities, including individuals. But we have never seen any system showing how many people are actually not claiming or how many entities VAT. And that report has also never been brought here by the Minister of Finance. VAT is supposed to be claimed back. So what happens to that money that many people are not claiming? Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, in most of the international airports, you find that there is a clear channel on how foreign nationals can claim back their tax before exiting the country. In our airport at Entebbe, we do not see that. Because people who are purchased who have valid receipts are supposed to claim back before departing their country. What systems are there in place? And in terms of waivers, we have seen some medical workers, including the nurses, who are actually being charged even taxes on their allowance as little as even lunch allowance. What is the ministry doing in trying to help them with the little pay they get, including the ones of the interns here? We have seen they get 1.2 and they lose over 200,000 on taxes. What is the ministry doing in trying to help some of our medical interns and workers in waiving the taxes as little as even on lunch allowance? Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and the Honourable Minister, for the statement in the format it has been described by our shadow minister. Right Honourable Speaker and the Minister, you've talked about waivers, but this statement falls short of talking about the blue paper by the President, where the President, the Minister of Finance, pays taxes for selected or specified business people. So I want to know how does the people access for Minister of Finance? What's the criteria for Minister of Finance for taxes? Because you are telling us which is provided for in the schedule as waiver, and the one which is moved by the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, if it has been applied, but you are not speaking to those blue papers. Maybe also your statement will show us how many people have benefited from the blue paper and how they were actually arrived at the time.
Yeah, but what was reading ourselves? Because I say I don't want the news that you are choosing of answering what he has not requirement by the flow. He was guided in what to bring.
Right Honourable Speaker, it is the statement is talking about the waiver. If I'm supposed to pay a tax, and the Minister of Finance undertakes to pay my tax, it is in a waiver. It is a waiver in a waiver.
But no, there is a difference between a waiver and an exemption. Yes. Because we provide all these. Let the minister, okay, I request that the minister be limited to what he told him to do. And then maybe you can ask for more information, okay, if needed, if you want it, in the scope.
No, the exemptions are within the law. And the schedule of the relevant act provides for the exemptions. And the waivers we're talking about, it is also provided for under the law, which is recommended by the Commissioner General of URA, for instance, of the taxpayer. But there are also waivers, the minister has understood them, where blue papers fly to the Minister of Finance, and Minister of Finance pays.
Now, to play safe, the minister has understood well.
For 12 years, and during that time, I noticed that this is one of the sections of the law which is highly abused. And so on, are not defined in the Act. The indicators gave us here
are not here. Right, Honourable Speaker, we want the act to be so that we know what is hardship. We don't want a situation where someone says, this is hardship, this is not hardship. Because the section says, if the Commissioner General is of the opinion, this is opinion, we don't want subjectivity in these words. Let there be a practice notes to define this. I submit.
Thank you. Honorable Katavazi, Honorable. We conclude with Honorable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to make my comments on the statement delivered by the Minister. I want to thank the Minister for giving us a starting point, especially for members of Parliament sitting on the Finance Committee and members of Parliament generally. Right Honorable Speaker, the statement is talking about hardships, but is not expanding to look at the protective measures against this potential abuse, because there could be those individuals who might transfer assets, who might Waivers those who deserve. There's also an issue of government hardship and administrative lapses that the Minister talked about. This needs also to be expanded. There could be those hardships that are occasioned by government delay, for example, to pay a supplier. You know tax on a pro basis. You have supplied, you have indicated this as income earned, and the URA has registered it, and then it starts attracting penalties, and government takes 10 years to pay. Those are some of the hardships that we might talk about. Then there are hardships that come through administrative lapses. You go to URA, you go to objections, they say it's ADR, from ADR, tax appeals tribunal, to mediation, and then you discover that some of the solutions that you are looking at, URA is not in position to give you a remedy. URA is simply tossing you up and about. So I think some of those complaints that are relating to genuine administrative.
Thank you, Honorable Secretary. Then Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Minister, thank you very much for the statement. Honorable Speaker, is a particular category of taxpayers that the Minister is not talking about. When the government started distributing office seats, a supplier was required to open a till number because they were being business. But once this program stopped, these people were not submitting returns. But each time, each year, URA continues sending assessments, and this money keeps on increasing. And when you look at this person, stopped business long time ago, but money keeps on increasing. Where do they go? I hope probably those ones benefit from tax waivers. I try to take some of my money to the URA, but we are not helped. So I want the Honourable Minister to help us. How do we have this is? Because the money keeps on increasing, but they are not able to pay. Thank you.
Now, Honourable Minister, this matter you very well know you've been here. I think it is an issue of trust and fairness. People believe that for you to get a tax waiver, you have to be connected. Okay? And that's because when we go back to ask questions, we from Doma, from Ik, from Kabong, from where get on this list. Because when you look at the people who are benefiting, Kampara, so the big ladies who are around. So, and yet you have very small people who are struggling mostly. But when you go, maybe this time I think we should instruct the Commission on Finance, and I think the chair here, that since the minister has given very clear parameters, before bringing us a report, go visit these businesses. Established. You find some of them are doing extremely well. There are some who are doing struggling. But you find some who are doing well. Okay? But it goes with the proverbial like in the Bible, where those who have that's a feeling of the people. That's a general feeling of the people. So, Honourable Minister, I request that you look into that issue deeply, of trust of people believing that there is a fair process which can be accessed by anyone, small or big, and they can have a chance, not only the big connected people who have access to URA, to the minister, to the president, that can benefit. Honourable Minister? Now, Rob, I had sat on Dr. Wakida, so if I'm allowed, I'll allow Dr. Wakida, because I've been behind some of these studies or something. Dr. Wakida, then I allow Rob, then the Minister responds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of tax waiver have been defined. Unfortunately, we will be seeking clarity from the minister. Because out of those clarities, you get a lot of money lost. If you look at the reports, went from 2022, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025. It all talks about government losing revenue due to abuse of tax exemptions and waivers. There is inadequate monitoring. Even the ministry itself admitted that 1.3 trillion in waivers could not be accounted for in 2024-2025. 1.3 trillion in waivers. I'll give you the report. When you read the PAC reports of 2024-2025, it also talks about how the ministry is giving away taxes and getting nothing in return. The bottom line, Honourable Minister, you are not being duped by the taxpayers. But the policy we make in this house will help the Minister of Finance. It will help all of those people in the revenue collection to solve this problem. But let me ask the Honourable Minister here. Honourable Minister, if this house asked you to tell for us the performance report for the last 50 at least for the 50 companies that got investment waivers, how many jobs were created against what I had promised? Can you please give us that report?
Thank you. So what is it? No. The number is gone.
Mr. Speaker, the minister's statement and all of these different, they are ambiguous. And yet they should not be. Especially for the public which is seeking to benefit. So that they get to know this is what hardship means. That means does not do post-waiver evaluation. So that it informs decisions on future requests. So you need to establish these waivers that we allow. What was the impact on the economy? Did they do what we intended? Saving jobs. Those are some of the reasons. The government says this company, if it closes down, we are going to lose all these jobs and so on. Do you actually go and do a post-waiver analysis to establish, did we actually save these jobs? Or did we enrich a particular individual? It's important that that gets to happen. Finally, Mr. Speaker, in the last parliament, we spoke ourselves hoarse. We spoke our voices hoarse on a couple of issues. That there are, apart from the waivers, there are private companies to which government extends support, saying they are heavily indebted, they are about to crumble, and yet they employ many people, and so government says, let's give them a shot in the arm. And we kept wondering, when is government going to come up with a comprehensive criteria, a modus operandi that is known? That people know, and these companies, that we can apply for support. Government gave paid by the pharma industry 724 billion shillings. And I'm told now they are asking for extra 1.6 trillion. And there's no clarity yet on where is the value for money. Government gave a Tiak sugar factory 768 billion shillings. Up to now, there is no sugar coming out of there. Inspire Africa Coffee Factory in Tungaba was given 180 billion shillings. Robo, 266 billion shillings. And we hear from some of the people who work at these companies that some have gone for months without even being paid. And then government was saying, you're heavily indebted, let's support you so that these jobs are not lost. Government said, we are buying stake. Did you actually establish the value of this company? And there is no report on all these different things. How does company X know I can also benefit the way they by farmer, Atiak, Inspire, and so on get to benefit? These things are not clear. And by the way, government, you end up struggling. So people begin to accuse you to say, this day by a farmer, this Inspire, must be owned by a powerful person in government. And then that might not even be true. But when there is no clarity so that others get to benefit, it becomes a problem.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank colleagues for the input they have made on my statement. Mr. Speaker, I want to start with the Honourable Global Senyoni. Mr. Speaker, we passed a law here called the Investment Code Act. It defines all the incentives we extend to our investors. And also, every year, we pass tax laws. In the Investment Code Act, we say tax incentives will always be provided for in various tax laws. And Mr. Speaker, when you refer to our tax laws in place, they define most of these concerns members have been provided by this House in the law. For example, we say if you are investing in a hotel business or a certain investment capital, here are the following incentives or exemptions that will be given. So, therefore, Honourable Senator, except for the exceptional circumstances, I can come here and explain those which are not already in the existing laws. I can study the exemptions we have given, the exemptions or the incentives we have given, then I come back and explain. I want to touch the ambiguity element together with what I was shown to Katabazi. In Kabara, we call him KP. He's the MP for Chica. The ambiguity element. Mr. Speaker, yes, every colleague here has the right to be suspicious. When there is suspicion, what is the remedy for suspicion? The remedy for suspicion is controls. If you are managing an entity, in order to prevent me from doing what I'm not supposed to do, you put controls in place. What controls have we put in place to ensure that this aspect of suspicion, protection from abuse is dealt with? Mr. Speaker, as I explained, we start with URA. From URA to finance. From finance you come to parliament. And then eventually a decision is arrived at. At every stage, this criteria I have to find should be checked. That is the importance of the internal control mechanism. And where you find a loophole, you flag it, you say, no, here, this one should not qualify because of the following reasons. And Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the House that there are very many unqualifying companies which want to move along this section of the law, which have failed to pass the test. Even in this parliament here, I remember last parliament, I brought a company. I will not mention the name because it is in business. No. But I know Parliament rejected my request because they subjected this company to this criteria and could not meet the test. And I considered. So, Mr. Speaker, another question. Honorable Wakita, Doctor, we need to differentiate between a tax waiver and a tax exemption. Most of the companies you are referring to fall under the category of tax exemption. So the exemption is the company is the 50 together with the job creation. I am going to bring you to do a study for the house and come back here and present. The 50 companies who have given waivers and how the waivers have benefited this economy. That information right now as a speaker, I can provide. The one of key seedlings, I don't have information with me now. Honorable Miru, for accessing tax waiver through a blue letter. Yes, it is true. The President is the chief executive of this country and he listens to the concerns of the people of Uganda. But when he sends a blue letter, the last paragraph mainly is asking me to ascertain whether the law, whether what he wishes to provide fits within the law. So I must make sure that the presidential directive is implemented in accordance with this criteria which I have given. If it doesn't meet the criteria, I write back. I go back to him and say, Sir, Your Excellency, this taxpayer wishes to have this, but the law provides otherwise, and I advise how best the taxpayer can behave. Then there is another colleague. I think my first response also catered for the MP from Chukuru. Then there is on taxation of allowances, lunch allowance. Income Tax Act provides for employment income. And employment income includes, it is best salary plus other allowances, which includes large allowance. So, Mr. Chair, we are not doing, sorry, Mr. Speaker, we are not doing anything outside the law. Whatever we are taxing is in accordance with the law which Parliament has considered and passed. Key stakeholders in the process. Honorable Isaac, I will find out, I'm not in practice now, I will find out unclaimed VAT, especially at the airport, how we deal with it. The treatment of VAT which is not claimed. I have taken your concern. The tax expenditure framework by Honorable Javira, which we have on our website. I think also Honorable Wakita saw that website. Mr. Speaker, this is a comprehensive report that deals with exemptions, revisions, waivers, and all the other things we do. And I think, let me say this. These exemptions are always reviewed to check whether they are meeting the economic objectives. And where we find that a certain exemption has lived its usefulness, we normally come back here seeking terminations. So, I will be in the second half of the year, when we are considering the budget, I look forward to having more engagements and give you a report to those we feel they are doing well and should be maintained, and those we propose to terminate. And today I was meeting with the business sector, we have the regional industrialization conference. The key issue here coming out, and which we shall consult the private sector further about, is they want equal treatment. They want this principle of taxation to apply equally. If a manufacturer X is getting an incentive or an exemption, and is in the production of a product which is being produced by another manufacturer Y, who is paying, not getting, this brings unfairness in the market. And they have asked me to find ways of bringing uniformity in the business environment by addressing some of these challenges. Mr. Speaker, pay as you earn, it should be paid when it falls due. We are telling you this company is sick. We are telling you these companies we are facilitating are sick. So when you are sick, sometimes you fail to eat, or you eat what you are not supposed to eat, including fares and for the people whom you are supposed to pay for. Honorable Karim, we implement tax laws as they are. If we pass a law that we shall offset all those obligations which fell due from 2016 and below, and this was done here by me and you not long ago in May. So allow me time to implement the law. As the tax laws of May came into force in July. Give me 3 months, I come back and give you feedback. But we shall implement the laws as they were passed by Parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I submit.
Thank you. Now, you said we cannot just leave it to the minister. Section 43 of the Tax Procedures Code Act gives us enough hours to organize this bill. So we are part of the steps. So, Honorable Max Ochai, I know you know this very, very well. So I think for any tax exemptions that we bring reports on here for approval, we should include visiting the companies. Visiting the company, seeing whether they seeing how they are state. If you find you have capacity to do your work and come, we shouldn't be giving you that window. Otherwise, it's causing us many problems. People planning, petitioning, so I hope we do a thorough job using the law. So, colleagues, let's go back to our item of the electricity. These were also very quick items. I think we've done a good job in this short time on this situation. Now, on this item, now first call the item, then I got it.
Item 3.1 Statement on Rural Electrification in the country.
Yeah, honorable colleagues, the minister reached out to me and said that there is a part which he had not worked on, and he said during the debate we are touching it, part of what they are doing and the projects we have in the pipeline. I remember asking you together about that. So, honorable minister, I can give you 10 minutes. You update us on that, and then we continue with the debate. Honorable Zambia, are you changing your statement, or this is an agenda or addition? And it's uploaded.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm not changing the item. It is actually, I presented the past, that was rare. I did get an opportunity to present what the Rural Electrification Department is doing and what has been packaged for the future.
Honorable, that's the presentation. When you say you did get an opportunity, your whole statement was captured. You didn't bring it up. You have brought it today and I'm allowing you to do it.
Thank you.
I'm being generous, so don't go very wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we need to be very careful with this minister.
Don't point at me. You're scaring me.
I don't know. It was the minister when polls were delivered to people's constituencies. Because of the pressure the members of parliament were putting up. After the elections, those polls were picked in some constituencies and taken away. Now I am worried, right, Honourable Speaker, because of the pressure the members have put up. He might have concocted something to give promise to members so that the members can, everybody can calm down, and at the end of the day, nothing will be done. But Honourable Speaker, are we proceeding well when we gave this minister time to present a statement and he presented the whole of it, and now he's bringing another and we want to accept it? Are we proceeding well or not?
Now, the minister said he presented the fact. Okay? Now he wanted to update you with the president and the people. And also, I think you can be kind enough not to accuse the minister of concocting the administration. Why don't you clarify that? Because concocting is a strong word. And then we give him a chance to present.
Maybe right on I used the wrong word, maybe. But I meant that this ministry is full of lying to members.
That's the word.
I asked him to confirm that what is going to present before we accept it, that it is not another lie.
But can we say,
yes,
Minister, maybe it's not just fulfilling what you do about because these situations can make you feel what
you know, right, I have some blood on the Wachika. Sometimes I say things the way I feel them. So you can confirm to us that this is the truth, and the members, whatever they promise, is not happening. Members constituencies. Otherwise, many members of parliament lost the elections because of accusations of not doing work when the ministry was given opportunity, and they just move on like that. Okay. So I'm just worried, right, Honourable.
Yeah, I was cautious of not applying Rule 86 on anticipation. Because we shouldn't anticipate and say, Honourable Minister, I know you what you're going to present. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. The Minister presents, and then we debate what it is. Honourable Minister, this is an addendum for purposes of the answer team.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you, my colleague, who have always worked together. So new projects which are actually, which are commenced, projects which are commenced, going by what we debated. Rural Electrification project funded by government of Uganda. We have 7 lots. These 7 lots are ongoing, and the cost is 145 billion. And you approved the release of that money. And that project is covering Lot 8 and Lot 4, covering the continuity from Lot 8 and Lot 4 of the Royal Electrification. And that project covers major parts of the country. And this is the project where I received 30 billion shillings at the end of the budget. And as we talk, many contractors who are on those loads are actually out in the field working. And many of you have actually thanked me for those projects to be put forward. Number 2,
deliberately created that constituency. They had around 2,000 voters. Yes. No, that time, honorable, the president gave us an advocate.
Can I find the information? Because most of my colleagues always like to say that I have 1,000 voters. Honestly, we are 17,000.
I was interested in your case. I'm making the case for you from why you need affirmative action. Because Honorable Minister, Honorable Leader Propan has done one more act on scholarship. Honorable Leader, for medicine, was it medicine? Okay, he's doing his job best to ensure he gets more
students. I have 10 metropolitan university. And all I'm paying, I have 45 in big city school. The all I pay. I have 2 in Jubilee, in Karela, and so many others. So I don't need to express my age.
So really uses the modern sensory to educate people so that you can have, he told me his degree, we have at least around 1 who can finish A level, who can be qualified to. So, Honorable Minister, I will go into details of all this. So that's the eco. I will go into details of all this. So that's the eco carbon. You give them special attention. The debate that is made on the planet. Yes, so I was still on this side. I had now Honorable Biara and then Queen.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My queries to the households. So is the rural electrification program just a construction program or really a transformative action in the process of operations and helping mothers who are giving delivery? Can it be an action that for public institutions we want to praise and worship? So please, the education sector, myself personally, I've tried to help in connecting schools, all girl, like schools for girl children, but there are also other schools within most of the constituencies that don't have power. Please, Honorable Minister, we are.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Dr. Chelamat.
What does that imply? There is no single, even maize meal, that can be established in that trading center. And it looks to be the main trading center in the sub-county. What makes me wonder is that out of the 21,000 households, it is only 7,540 households having power. A district near the power dam that was built in 1956. I am wondering if that district is at that level. Then what about Ike? That is a problem. We need to start thinking positively in our country. beat them if we have to move.
Sorry, thank you. Honorable Court.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm Makungu Henry Kamya, representing the people of Kiana South. Mr. Speaker, the other time we were here, the minister presented his fair statement and he told him to go and look for another better statement, more comprehensive. And Mr. Speaker, we have noticed the level of desperation and the level of need of electricity in this country. And I see we are continuing to dig. We shall talk about power until the cows of God stand back. Because we need power, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it procedure right at this level, Mr. Speaker? To just unanimously agree as a house or a member of the parliament and agree on a special loan, if possible, to the Minister of Energy to look for money and give power like we have started in the previous parliament. Mr. Speaker, we will keep this procedure right so that at this stage you rule and we agree on the source of funding to the Minister of Energy. Because all of us want to work and even those who are. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, first of all, Honorable, actually the bill of the Constitution does not give us that power. It really starts. Okay? Anything that has a child in the most associated class must come from the regime. Okay? So we cannot come and we say, because we have debated and we say we want power, let's agree on a special role. Now, we depend how much, for example, if you wanted to agree, you say $2 billion, $1 billion, okay? So, but number two, I know I'm seeing repeating, but this is deliberate. I want to remember because their constituencies are one of the things they have. Okay? Whether it's adding much value to what the minister is doing or not, but at least they will have done their part when speaking for their business. So that's why I allow the long debate on this issue members. So, Honorable Okot, this Honorable Okot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
I go to independence.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for the report because it brought all the honesty out. This report has provided to us the realities on the ground. A number of colleagues have been speaking here, stating where power is not available. I read the report. Under rural electrification, Mr. Minister, if I take my district of Omoro, yes, nearly every sub-county has been mentioned as having power. But let us see critically where these electricity are located, how they were selected, where they should be put. One wonders. My thinking is that the priority when expanding this electricity should go to health centers, should go to school. The last time we had connections in Omoro was when we were still under Bulu district. We had a connection in Aremu, supplying only a distance of about 1 kilometer, leaving the health center. Now I've seen under rural electrification, another sub-county has been put, Abuga sub-county. Still again, giving an extension of only about 1 kilometer, leaving about the center. This is less than free. But Mr. Minister, I would also advise that when planning for this project, you have to coordinate with other ministries. We have schools where computers have been sent, they are redundant because there is no power. We have health centers which have been upgraded.
nothing much can be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Minister for the statement he has made. But my people in Newaya East also would like to appreciate the connections that were done under prayer. Some connections were done. Some lines are okay, others are not. Mr. Speaker, the target of the rural electrification was that it should reach sub-county headquarters, health centers, schools, and trading centers. In my constituency, 3 sub-counties remain without electricity. Mr. Speaker, we have also a seed secondary school, an investment of 3.2 billion, without any line near it. Even the road access to that school, you have to go through yams in order to deliver materials. I would just plead with the minister to make sure that where government is investing such huge amount of money should be facilitated with electricity. Mr. Speaker, also in my constituency, there is a 17-kilometer line which I actually asked the manager in the area, and he told me the line was compromised. And he explained to me that some materials were poor quality that cannot deliver electricity. In that line, Mr. Speaker, the power is too weak. It is there always, but it is too weak even for a single phase welding. I plead with the minister to investigate what happened and do things that are quality so that things are done once and you move on to the next. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me see if I was historical. I'll give you a chance. Okay? Let me pick historical Magora, then I go in single. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, issue we always speak with the leader because we think that Uganda has its own. If it's spoils, we have the cheap boards that we plant our trees and we move. To our dismay, we find the ministry find it hard or to make it expensive, maybe to benefit. In order, they will go moving in an extra mile to put concrete poles of electricity. So that they promise us they are giving us a good service. But we wonder, Right Honorable Speaker, we have areas which are developing high speed, and many youth are coming up to work. But all this may find they are stuck. I'll tell you, I have areas like Kamunyata, Chichusa, Busika, Vumba, Champis. Those areas, if they get electricity, they will not even wait for people. They can sustain themselves. But now we are making young to beg because we are failed to put the environment which can make them work for themselves. 2, there is also a situation where government must even supply electricity because they also benefit. Once they supply electricity, they employ people, there is a service fee where people can even just survive. Now if you have electricity, people are moving around, but now they have to transfer the challenge. You know we had a Mumene was like a wife who was going to move away from home. Now they left everything like that. Now all the shading is normal in our area. You find by 7 now, in all that part of the world, you can't find electricity. Now animal theft is on increase because now they know that by 7, total darkness, now you wait. That's why you are crying. Thank you. I do 1, 2. I'm on independence now. Independence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. For the record, is Emmanuel Bolamatovu, MP for Busro East in Wakiso District. For the people of Busro East constituency, which is a constituency of less than 10 kilometers from Kampala, we have sub-counties of Mende and Wakiso, and some of my honorable colleagues will say these areas. But you find we take 3 to 4 days without power. 2 weeks. When we talk about rural electrification, in sub-counties of Mende, sub-counties of Wakiso, and some parts of Chengera Town Council, they don't have power. This program, is it for districts outside Kampala metropolitan, or we are also included? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there is a session of two which have not attended on this debate, but at the risk of bringing up something which has already been discussed here, allow me to bring up the aspect of cost. Honorable Speaker, my people in Hoima City have made it categorically to me, and all of us, the leaders of the city, that the electricity charges are just too exorbitant and they cannot afford. Honorable Speaker, even if we succeed in improving on the connectivity, the mere fact that the people, the Wananchi, are not in a position to afford payment of the rates, their aspirations of getting power may continue to be a pipe dream. So, Honorable Speaker, can the Minister tell us if there are any intentions on the part of government to consider easing the cost of power so that our people, the Wananchi, to whom all of these projects are supposed to target, can benefit, Honorable Speaker?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I've looked at the document that the Minister has given us and the statement. I've found that we, the people from Teso, those projects have not covered us. I looked at the last one, only Serena district has been covered. And Teso, apart from Karamoja and West Nile, we are the most affected when it comes to electricity. The electricity that we have only passes through the main roads, but the internet is so much affected. Specifically, Soroti. When I look at the first document, it covers the city and some constituencies, but the constituency of Dakabel, not even one parish has been mentioned. I have 24 parishes. Out of the 24 parishes, only 6 has electricity. In one of the trading centers, which had power, 1 year ago, in June last year, that is Anyeri, which is in the sub-county, they took the generator away. Up to now, they don't have that generator. So you can imagine somebody who has used electricity, then they come and take it away. Imagine how they are feeling. I wonder why you take a generator away and then don't bring it for 1 year. The transformer is the transformer. They took the transformer away for 1 year. Up to now, they don't have it. They always call me, and that happened in my parish. So you can imagine the thing they don't have leaders. So the minister, please help us. Help us. Yes, thank you.
Now, before your colleague speak, I want to make a special mention to the Shadow Minister of Energy, because the Committee on Natural Resources is struggling, and I want to give the permission. I think Karuma, I don't know wherever they are going. But I just give you 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister said and stated it for a fact, and the fact it is that they inherited a debt of 570 billion shillings
from REA, Electrification Agency. And out of that 570 billion, they have received 222 billion. That money is not enough to carry power throughout the whole country. Project affected persons have only received their money 35 billion shillings. That being stated, Right Honourable Speaker, should it be known that in the financial year, between February 2025 and March 2026, government sold power to Kenya, Rwanda, Congo, and Sudan to a tune of 72 million US dollars. That comes to 267 billion shillings. My question to the minister is, why don't you use that money for rural electrification? Because you can see the entire country is flying. Let it be known that there are 33 million Ugandans who don't have power. Everybody is complaining about power. And it's a fact, we need to address this issue. But Honourable Speaker, the government is committing 33 to 34 trillion shillings to the BNA project, nuclear power project. The first megawatt will be produced in 2031. Why?
Let me allow you as a shadow minister.
Why? Why don't we first wait to invest for 2031? Because right now we have the energy that is not being used. Simply because power.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order for a whole shadow minister to stand before the nation and tell them a naked lie that the government of Uganda is exporting power to South Sudan or Sudan? Is it in order?
Honourable Minister, are you exporting power to South Sudan?
We commissioned the lines, distribution lines along the border areas. So some of it goes to South Sudan.
So the honourable member, I want to matter
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, my other issue was some of us want to do some research because we are paid for it. And we have to start assistance.
Now you have started the forum.
Honourable Speaker, my other issue was about the Buyende nuclear power project. That project is going to cost us 33 to 34 trillion shillings. We expect, that is 9 billion US dollars. That project is going to produce the first megawatt in 2031. Why do we commit a lot of money for the future and yet in the current, in the present, where we need about 550 billion to carry power to rural areas? Why don't we forfeit the first project of 10 billion, 9 billion, 55 trillion for present, where we need only 33, 34, 500 billion shillings? I would recommend that the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development be asked, be asked to produce the proposal, the project, and how it was started, the one that is in Buyende, against, and they give us the certificate of financial implication of that project. Because, as Honourable Speaker, by 2031, the project will have cost Uganda 45 trillion shillings. Now, adjusted by inflation.
Now, Honourable Shadow Minister, you have power the finance overall the procedure. You have room as a shadow minister of bringing a statement that will give an alternative view, okay, to what the minister is doing on the other side. Now, that sounds so big, okay, for it to be brought in casually. I don't work out in the legal opposition. Of course, you bring it under the legal opposition. Yes. And you come, you say, Honourable Minister, I've seen in the budget, in the work funds, you have ABCD. This is a huge project that is a big million. I don't know the figure possible. You know, and we bet and you add value.
Right, Honourable Speaker, given time, I'm going to come up with that report after the profile. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's continue. Now, for instance, I was proposing, because I'm seeing the way the debate is going, we are just informing the minister of our issues. So for me to be able to capture nearly all of you, I'm going to reduce this to 1 minute. So that I give, yes, I would rather do 1 minute and I capture more of you. Okay? Because we are not going to make any resolution on this matter. We are giving information to the minister so that I can capture, I can cover ministry. I'm still this side. Now I'm on independent.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I have heard from the Land Ministry. He has given a list of projects that is going to be done in different districts. My district, Dokoro, has a challenge of connectivity. I have places in Dokoro South, especially Dokoro Town Council, Eastern Ward, Central Ward, in fact all the wards. Those cells even don't appear like in urban setting. I would wish to get from the Land Ministry whether he has a plan for Dokoro Town Council. Even other places like Dokoro Town Council has become an urban setting. We don't have electricity. Other places like Adegino Parish, we don't have electricity. We don't need electricity just because of light, but we need electricity for production and for business. We need to compel the young generation.
And
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Emmanuel McCall is my name. I want to say for the case of Karamoja, it's quite different. Rural electrification has only become a navigation route. Those poles have become a navigation route for the railers. Because you came and put for us the poles, and now no light on the poles, so the railers now use it for navigation to reach to their destinations. The town councils themselves that were targeted are not getting the power. For instance, just next to the State House in Moririna, at my constituency, there is an health center in Moririna, health center 2, and a primary school that had to buy solars to connect, yet the poles just passing by, going to the State House. 1 minute.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, in Butambala, I am usually invited to fundraise because, first of all, the power lines are usually vandalized. Currently, there is a village called Boetiawa where the wires were stolen off 9 poles. That has been, that happened 6 months ago. Then the transformers usually burst. I don't know what you use, but what happens, they tell me that vandals steal some oils, something, precious oils from what happens there. Then the people who work at your offices usually ask the users to go.
See, I guided you. Because I would rather I allow people to speak on the 20, or I don't want to make, I think 60. So, Shetan.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Many of the issues raised here cut across many of our constituencies, but there is a particularly unique issue I want to raise with the Minister. We recently had an issue in the central market in Toro after traders and a majority of the traders were asked to go back. But there is a company that has privatized power and units are being sold more expensive and the traders are buying sub-meters at about 600,000 shillings. Right Honorable Speaker, I request the Minister to take this on in all the 18 municipalities that have markets and get a solution that is more cost effective for all the traders in order to operate business now that trade order has been executed. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I am Ajit Peter, representing Tigre County Federal District. Everything has been growing in the biggest center in our constituency, with the biggest secondary school in the county. The first leaders decided to do just, but I request Honorable Minister to really send a team of surveyors to that town called Tigre Corners. We do not have power. Many children do not even know how a pole looks like. Honorable Speaker, we request the Tigre County is considered seriously for the sake of peace. I wish to permit.
Thank you, Apollo. Then, Christian Apollo. Until the ladies, men we have nominated.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Apollo Angela Zochile, District Woman Representative Tororo. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to know the criteria that is being used to choose which places are given electricity. You will find Village A has electricity, Village B has electricity, then C and D are skipped, and Village E will get electricity. And this is such a big challenge for us. Where I come from in my village in Peipei, I do not have power. What is happening now is that the locals are turning to us, the leaders, to support them with buying solar, something that should have been done by governments. So I request the Minister to look into this and support us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Once again, I'm the one who is blessed to have a Minister of State for Energy. The Minister supported. A number of lines were opened, but the lines are taking so many years to realize the power. May I find out from my dear Minister, when will you do your work on the survey areas in Abeje, Kabata and others? Number two, Right Honorable, there is connection that is supposed to have been completed to Omatela line inside connecting to Katakwi district where the Vice President hails from. The poles are standing there. The voters are asking, were the poles meant for the votes? When will the real power be connected in the entire Kumi sub-county and Kumi?
Thank you. Yes, the Minister with the ready.
Okay. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Awuma Janet, Woman Member of Parliament for Malta District. I would like to bring to the attention of the House that according to the Ministry of Agriculture, Uganda is producing 727,000 tons of fish, and as the district bordering Lake Kyoga, we are contributing 134 billion, meaning as a district of Amolata and the entire district bordering Lake Kyoga, we are contributing to the national economy. I have my question. Officer for Energy and Mineral, what is the total estimated budget for providing a reliable...
That's concluded. Let's conclude that question.
Okay. I would say how much is estimated to provide the reliable electricity to the people of Amolata district, since we border the Lake Kyoga, which contributes so much into national economy of Uganda. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Stella Maris Nakwanga, the woman representative of a district on the issue of electricity. Honorable Minister, many villages in Bugwe do not have electricity, and also the trading centers. We have trading centers along highways. For example, Nawambisa, it doesn't have electricity. In some areas, poles have been put in place, but the wires have not been connected. In some areas, measurements have been carried out, and it has given our people high hopes, but unfortunately, no work has been done. Then also there is also another issue of frequent blackouts, especially in town councils. For example, December Town Council, Right Honorable Speaker.
Now, I'll come back to independence and I'll start with Honorable Marshall. So, Honorable Muzani.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, why is it still a nightmare for one to have air conditioner? One, it's expensive. Two, even where you have money to get it, it's a problem. You have to push it through bribes. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, we need to, I think, to begin to assess these agencies where we rationalize. For instance, REA was taken back to Ministry of Energy. But Right Honorable Speaker, since that time, it has just been a rhetoric from the minister. I am going to do this, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. So, by now I was impressed with your statement, but I'm worried. Because that is what has been the case for the last 3 years. Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Then, Brian.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we refugee hosted districts really didn't think we would be back on the floor of Parliament to talk about electricity. We thought it was a done deal. But on ground, it's only sub-counties that have refugees. Yet we're talking about refugee hosting districts. Secondly, the pylons on our way to Westland fell a year ago. Thank God we have the other power on the other side to Bugulu. But the minister has been told that it is vandalism. It's not. I drove, I passed, I entered the bush. I saw it is poor quality material. And 1 year down the road, the minister and the team have refused to put up these pylons. Real. What kind of work is this? I thank you. Thank you. We want to get a satisfactory answer from.
Thank you. Brian. Then Aga. Then the Honorable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I've gone by my MFP of Assist County. It is true, our county, Assist County, is part of the very many counties that have been mentioned here that are not connected to the national grid. There is a project, the one-stop border point, that costs around 180 billion. But even up to date, there's not any electricity that is supplying those areas. We have the opportunity to collect a lot of revenue, but just because we don't have electricity, we cannot collect that electricity. We have areas like Kabnani, Kaptorero. This is a border point that sincerely requires electricity so that this issue of theft cannot happen again, because we realize
Our neighbors from Kenya, the notorious rider, I don't want to speak about. These are
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the minister or the ministry should be very active because in giving people power. Because the more people are connected, the less the price. So they should be connecting us in much more and more to bring down the price of power. So we need to get more free connections for us to move on. Honorable Speaker, I saw in his report, the minister said that a 1 kilometer line is around 100 million. I was putting power in my farm here in Mukono, and it was not less than a kilometer. But I paid over 380 million to get the power and the transformer. Honorable Speaker, it is too much. Last night, Honorable Speaker, we were in a constituency in Rushaji. You saw people in the middle of the town, which is going to be a city, crying for power. So you can imagine how people are yearning for power and we cannot get it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. Now, colleagues who are complaining that time is short, you can see. In a minute is the wrong time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for giving us hope. My name is Tom Aliti, Member of Parliament from Maracha East. My issue is, when will our secondary schools, which were constructed, Seed Secondary School, O-Level Seed Secondary School, Cololo Seed Secondary School, constructed worth 3.9 billion, but not connected to the electricity. And when they requested for connectivity, the ministry requested for 154 million shillings to connect with the 5 poles and 100 kVA transformer, 154 million shillings. And I have not received a response. I wrote to the ministry. What is the way forward in terms of connectivity of our secondary schools, where government used 7 billion shillings over? I think we need some rest.
Thank you. Honorable the Vice Chair of the Budget Committee, so please scrutinize properly when we come to the budget. So, the lady behind, that's the reason. Yes. Then Honorable Portable, then the Minister. Yes, we are on NRM.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Anita Jennifer Nalongo, Woman MP, Rubiris District. Rubiris District is known as a food basket of this country, but on top of that, we are among the best coffee farmers in this country. But the agro-processing in Rubiris is being constrained due to lack of access to electricity. So I hereby call upon the Ministry of Energy to consider Rubiris' agro-processing so that farmers can add value to their coffee, increase household income, and drive the national economy. I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I have listened to the submissions of my colleagues with envy, because the majority of them will at least have electrical infrastructure or at least the power itself. In my constituency called the South, both concepts are out of our frame of reference. Right Honorable Speaker, the electrical connection to the grid in my constituency is about 2.3% only. And Right Honorable Speaker, we are 20 times below the national average. And what that also means is that it will take my constituency 196 years for the 33,000 households, that's provided they do not increase, to be connected to the grid. Right Honorable Speaker, my question to the Minister is what the plan is.
Just conclude that question, sir.
Thank you. My question is, what is our plan to connect these districts that are critically below the national average, the affirmative action plan to resuscitate them so that they're also able to get into production. Thank you.
Urisa and then the gentleman, Honorable colleague.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. District. Honorable Speaker, Budisa District has got an even power distribution in the entire district. The only place that have got power are those that are near the roadside and the very busy trading centers. We have poles that have not been having power or wires for the last 5 years. We have a challenge as a tourist area that the hospital industry is being affected. The areas where power is very unstable. Our young people who have been involving themselves in a lot of work cannot be able to access power, and therefore this is endangering them as a region, and there is no way we can be able to be part of the money economy if our young people and the rest of the area cannot be able to access power. So that uneven.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Eric Sabit Drambeko, representing the people of Terrible West Constituency. I think the biggest problem of the energy sector does not start from the distribution of power itself, but it starts from the nature of the ministry itself. If you look at other ministries, they have the representatives in the districts. At local governments, they have representatives. But the energy sector does not have any staff at the local government level. And when they pilot these projects, I don't know who receives them at the local government level down there. They tend to rely on phone calls to colleagues, and at the end, the work that is done is not correct. That is one. Two, in my constituency, the only factory that we have is at the mercy of some Turkish nationals who have introduced the okra management in Terrible West constituency. But there is no power there. This therefore prompts them to turn.
Honorable Rabu, I'll give you 1 more minute and why. I made the man suffer. He shifted from there. I'm sorry, I want to say something.
Actually, Right Honorable Speaker, the spirits of my ancestors have been haunting me. The Turkish have established an okra industry in Terrible West constituency, but there is no power. This makes them to turn to wood, and they are causing a lot of environmental dereliction. In order to mitigate this, I want to beg that the only party of Terrible that has that in the billion percent country be connected to power so that we benefit from the rewards of the industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of electricity, we have debated for many years. Honorable Minister, today in Utuke, as we are speaking right now, one of the sub-county, the transformer was blown last night. We are losing so much in this country, employment, just because of electricity. And Honorable Minister, we request, let we honorable members not talking about the power. You know the word power means a lot. In other words, we should use electricity, and I would appreciate that each year. Let us come and appreciate this ministry. We have never, nobody debated here, we appreciate it. This is one the request I'm doing. Unfortunately, in Utuke, in 2019, the World Bank, when they came to make the project of electricity, some of the members were compensated for the pole which was planted in their land. And then some, they're still expecting. So this is also one of the key things which is delayed. So when are they going also to compensate those who are compensated?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Akijiziwe Harith, Rurali County, Masili District. We have sub-counties in Masili that don't even know how a pole looks like.
and that is Kijunjua Sub-County, Kijunjua Town Council, and Kimego Sub-County. We have written letters. Officials from the ministry have come around, done some surveys for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Nothing is forthcoming. Right, Honorable Speaker, I also want to implore the ministry to do interministerial collaboration. We were here in 2024. I remember presenting an issue where Maif brought some machinery to add value on our maize in a place called Pakani. The machinery is there, very idle, can't do anything, just because there is no power.
Minister has taken note.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Brigadier J. Emmanuel Rwanda from Premier. Right Honorable Speaker, Ronet is unique, is a unique situation. I don't know some of the criteria this ministry uses in giving services of power to people. Because you find other people have and others don't have at all. For us to experience darkness that I have never seen anywhere in the world. And when we have every day, Right Honorable Speaker, we lose liters and liters of milk because of lack of services of power. And when we have that, we also contribute to the economy. We also have built some food stores that we cannot even keep our food because of lack of power. Recently we entered into small-scale industries.
So now, Honorable Minister, if the former Bush war hero, I don't want to use the word rebel, in darkness he has never. You see what then Honorable Najuma and Honorable Kesa.
Right Honorable Speaker, Kasai Graduate Party from Bulamut, Moscow constituency in Kano district. Honorable Speaker, I want to start by appreciating the leader raising the issue of responding. First of all, I was among the constituencies that were given coverage on the program of rural electrification. They came and did the work, they fixed the poles and the wires. Now it is becoming quite mad, no connection has taken place. So I want to request the minister, please help the people of Bulamut as we be able.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. It is me, yes. It is yes. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I have places that have been surveyed in my district, like Sega Parish, Sakapsolo Parish, part of Nakaska Sub-County and Nakaska Town Council. But up to now, they have been surveyed like 5 years back, but nothing is on ground. I have a place called Butikwa in the Chuko Town Council. They have been off for almost 3 months because of no transformer. I have Wamasi School. The Ministry of Education gave us that computers. They are being kept in store because we have no power. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kefa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. At the heart of what we are talking about is bridging the demand-supply balance gap, which is on page 5. Right Honorable, I thought that actually we will have an independent report on that, but the minister has brought there that this is a project of this was a project of $212 billion, which is 780 billion. And when it was brought to Parliament, in the 10th Parliament, we were very excited. It's going to be revolutionary. It was supposed to connect all sub counties, including new ones, let alone the district. It was supposed to provide 3,401 transformers. But what I'm seeing in the scattered information provided is that it provided 1,744 transformers. It was supposed to provide 5,921 kilometers. I think what I'm seeing here is 3,202 kilometers. The bottom line, Right Honorable Speaker.
Former Chair of National Resources, let me add you one.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Is it time that Parliament takes interest in this project as to what happened and probably get an independent investigation of what it is that actually was achieved by this project? Because it's at the heart of all what we're talking about. It's at the heart of the poles that were planted and then never connected. I know a bit more.
That was your member, I was the member of your committee. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Zima, Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. For the record, my name is Vaccine Anisha, the one member of Electrification District. Allow me to thank the Honorable Minister. Thank you. Allow me to thank the Honorable Minister for updating us on the electricity coverage and the projects that are being executed across the country. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank you and the Ministry on behalf of the people of Kusheni that finally the long-standing electric poles are going to be connected to the national grid that we are left there by Rural Electrification Agency according to the Minister in the next 1 year. However, I have two issues to request you to do. One is that we need a technical team to do the survey before the exercise begins. Some electric poles were vandalized, others were damaged. And when the Rural Electrification Agency...
Thank you. Yes, I have Honorable
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Nzuma Fiona, representative of Ivory West constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, Ivory West being a rural city as one of the busiest cities in the region, actually in the country, is in total darkness. Out of the 18 parishes I have, only 4 have been connected to electricity, and this has been done on individual basis. The 14 are in total darkness, especially we have a Tori, which are at the border of Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo. And as being at the border, it will be of a great advantage in terms of investment if Ivory West is connected to electricity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Then the Honorable colleague, next Honorable Minister. Sir, Honorable Minister, for using you as a reference person.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Minister, as far as rural electrification is concerned, I bring to you a very serious concern from the people of Yume district that I serve. I thank you, you have extended electricity there, but they have a very major challenge of insufficient medium and low voltage distribution networks. This limits connection. Communities really want to establish small industries that can avert poverty, but it's very difficult for them to connect electricity because of this major challenge of insufficient medium and low voltage distribution networks. Thank you so much.
The colleagues still have enough time. Just to remain sitting and going to keep you time. You still have time. I can still think around 30 people.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Saleh Bata. I represent the people in Bunia County South. Honorable Minister, I and my people are looking for your contractor called the AG Equatorio. You contracted to extend power to one of my sub-counties called Jabus in the islands. They came, excavated holes, and planted a few pylons and abandoned the project, which started in 2021. To date, the project has remained a work in progress, and the people are enraged and are threatening violence on your contractor. Kindly, Honorable Minister, may you save the contractor from the impending object.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, please, I don't do that. That's not how I work. I say the colleague neighboring you. I didn't say, yeah, I'm so sorry. So, but I'm seeing some of the people whom I allowed to speak last time on the they are turning out. You know, colleague, I request you if you know your scope. No, I'm going to pick you. Let's take your time. I'm making the sacrifice with you. You see, for you, I'm making all the sacrifice of standing back. Me, I'm making the sacrifice of sitting here without moving anywhere. You can go in deep water and come back. Me, I go. So, let us sacrifice together. Yeah. So, I wanted to pick Maracha, the corner, and then, no, the one, Maracha. Then, the colleague at the far corner already, and then I think Kisoro, Sam, engineer, Serugani. I tried to pick all of you. The honorable Quinzer, I know you can pick that at the end. Minister Honorable Quinzer has a issue which I need you to address. Please, let's move.
Thank you so much, very honorable Speaker. I would like to know to what extent that the ministry engage and involve the local leadership as far as mapping is concerned. Because I believe they are the ones who know where major towns are, where major institutions are, but many times these institutions are left alone just because the local leadership was not involved. So I would like to know to what extent do they involve the local leadership. And it is the reason why my MP was mentioning Oliver City Secondary School, Kololo, and many others were missed out because of low involvement of the local leadership. I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Angela Maria Goretti, Kalati District. I would like to report that in 2021, REA mapped my district of Kalati, but was caught up by the rationalization, and I believe that report is lying somewhere. Now to date, out of my 10 entities, 3 sub-counties are not yet connected. That is Otuboi sub-county, Ogolo sub-county, and Kalati sub-county. Secondly, on the issues of transformers, whereas the poles and the lines are passing through, the upcoming trading centers that will bring our people to the money economy cannot access power because of no transformers to pull down the power. On transformers again, Kalati suffers a lot of power outages. Every other month, transformers are blowing.
Thank you. Welcome back, Margaret.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Alex Nyonsawa. I represent the people of Kumbira South. Right Honorable, the Minister 3 years ago promised electricity for my area. In Kumbira South, there is Mugahinga National Park. There are 2 towns. There are several trading centers, actually about 83 of them. There are many secondary schools, there are many primary schools, but the electricity penetration is limited. We have power only passing via the main roads and not going into the rural areas. I would wish to remind the Minister, Right Honorable, so that he can consider us for something.
Thank you. Yes, the colleague next to my right. No, the one in the brown.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Ekoro Alexio Kani, representing the people of Bunia County East. I want to bring this to your attention that power in my constituency has remained minimal. And also those who got some little power, there was a payment plan that was made for them. And these people have not been paid. They are demanding and demanding. Now they are demanding to come and represent them and ask for their payment. And this has remained a problem. I beg to submit.
Thank you. The draft now.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. By this time, Right Honorable Speaker, electricity is supposed to be connected to all parts of the district. Kabul district got electricity 5 years ago. And when electricity entered the district, it has been installed along the main from Kabul to Kanea. I want to say that, Honorable Speaker, what has happened is that electricity is in the training centers, it is in near the road, schools and health centers near the road. But away from the road, Right Honorable Speaker, electricity is not there. Now, what has happened is that schools, P7 schools in the constituency, do not perform because there is no light in schools, and then
Viola, Anua, then Ginger, Manenpi Ginger, and then Manenpi Wayne.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Amanya Viola, Woman Member of Parliament in Tungamo District. Right Honorable Speaker, my people of Tungamo have been complaining about the extension of electricity. Electricity that we have is mainly on the main road and in some few centers. I want to request the Ministry of Energy to put electricity in different areas. As they are talking to my colleagues that they were telling me, Tungamo, you're okay, do not talk. My people put me here to represent them. We are not okay. The pain of our family is known by an inner member of that family. I request the ministry to go to Tungamo and help our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2024, Ministry of Energy took a survey in Agago district, especially Agago West constituency where I represent, in Ulube Training Center and Ulube Primary School, and also in Achur Training Center, a very busy center with a health center, a primary school. Up to now, the project has not taken off. They were supposed to put a transformer to help our people. Right Honorable Speaker, electricity is no more a luxury. It's a necessity to drive development. And that is why honorable members of parliament are demanding for electricity in their constituency to bring development. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a critical issue since...
Thank you. Yes, speak to Ginger.
Thank you.
Then followed by Jay.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Miss Tibiaze.
Sorry, you can start up here.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Miss Tibiaze, Ginger District Woman MP. Right Honorable Speaker, when you come up to speak about Ginger District, everyone thinks that Ginger is doing well. We need to differentiate between Ginger District and Ginger City. Ginger District is a tourism industry where we have Solomon Falls, Intanda Falls, but all these these sites do not have electricity. Then when we come to the presidential hub, each time we are having projects who come out of the presidential hub, who we have to empower with small businesses. But then we are giving them machines without even having electricity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. By report, I'm Annette Navarro, OSP Kama, my member of Parliament, Mesh District. I start by thanking the ministry for what he has said when he was briefing us. He said communities where wires are passing up, they are going to start coming and connect those people. In Bueju, wires are just passing up to other communities, we just see them as flowers. So when he said it, I was very happy. On the other side, Bueju, we are still in darkness, Mr. Speaker. We are still in darkness. Some areas don't have electricity, some have never seen electricity. Yet we are competing with the other districts. So I request the ministry to come back and visit our districts and see how we are doing. On top of that, Bueju is a hidden district. We have hard-rich areas. So through you, Speaker, I'm requesting the ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regional Speaker.
Then Tororo.
Thank you, Regional Speaker. Regional Speaker, the issue of power, it's a very big issue in my constituency at Central. The survey was made 3 years back in areas of Mahanani, Musomba, Rukara, Asenene, up to Kakabala Council. The drawings were made and were delivered on ground. Nothing has happened. We came with a team from our area who are investors, have put up hotels. We visited the minister's office, and a very good minister, for instance, the transformer 2 years back. The transformer is not yet delivered. Now we cannot cross that area because these people see wires crossing their villages and their hotels, going to the settlement, and the settlement is lighting. So they are asking, who is supposed to benefit first?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. In 2019, a survey was done in Goba West constituency. It covered, it came from Madu, Degea, Nashtebe, Waivers, Soro, and went up to Chai. But nothing has been done on that particular line. And recently we got a solar company coming to give some power in Chai. But it isn't going to give it to all the places. They are beginning with the school. So I'm being asked, because that's on the road to my home, as to what happened. Also in Kabla-Soke sub-county, there is vandalism, and we need assistance in that regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tororo, and then this honorable lady.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. For the purpose of record, I'm George Okesho, representing the people of Tororo, West Pudama, South County. My question goes to the Honourable Minister. We need to find a way how we can handle the issue of transformers. The forensic audit must be done. Because these transformers, in the whole of my constituency, the 7 sub-counties I'm representing, Osia, Ojilai, Rubawi, and Iyoro. The whole transformers are completely gone. They are not working for the last 2 months. And my query is, are these transformers new or they bring for us for the transformers? We need to handle that one. Then the issue of compensation. My church, which I pray from, that is Katerema Church of Uganda. You are evicting us without the compensation. I need an answer to that effect. Then the issue of blackout. I'm being surrounded by most of the industries, Toro Cement, Sibasen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. My name is Babulando Wolkataike Matilda, Woman MP, Mudaka District. It is a challenge to explain to my constituents why they live in darkness, yet they have electricity poles standing happening in their villages. And for those fortunate enough to have electricity, there is a lot of frequent and prolonged blackouts. Now, my concern is mostly with the health centers, where most babies are delivered at night. It is a challenge for the health workers, especially when they have to perform emergency Caesar operations. I would like to appeal to the Minister of Energy to bring electricity to my district of Budaka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and your colleague.
Thank you, the Right Honorable. I am Tony Ron, Member of Parliament, Kwanya County, for record purposes. I rise here to give a submission for my people of Kwanya County, arising from the presentation by the Minister of Energy. Early this year, around March, there were many places that had not got power, and the team from the office went and surveyed my different sub-counties. For example, take a trading center, they surveyed, they went to a trading center, they went to an Awala trading center, they went to Terwa, all those other places. My question is, does your work only end in surveying places? Because after doing the survey, the paper people told us that we would give them only 2 weeks, they will get back and start the work. That is why I'm rising up here, because my people now look at me as not following up on the matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Wakuri Geoffrey by name, representing the people of Ngoma South County, Bari District. In addition to from the highest number of water transformers, Right Honorable Speaker, are found in Ngoma South County, Bari District. But also, I wanted to, through you, to inform the Minister that between 2022 and 2024, people paid for no power service at 20,000 shillings. Those who have wires up to date, they are not connected. And in the previous statement last week, the Minister indicated that this time they are going to pay 26,000 for no power service. How do you account for the first money? Actually, they were wondering whether the balance can reach UE.
Thank you. Yes, and so then we get there.
Thank you, Right
Honorable. The Honorable next to the end.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Abdul Bisas once again. At the Minister of Energy, whereas many places in Kasada South do not have power, there is already a line that was built by government from Kasada, Karwan. It is not commissioned for the last 7 years and beyond. Secondly, Kasada harbors the largest mine deposits, mineral deposits. But up to today, many mining areas do not have power. Yet power is very important in mining, as mining is generating revenue to the government. I request that the Minister prioritizes the mining areas of Kasada such that the government can earn more revenue. I thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Minister for what he's doing. But in 2022, we had a very good project, hydroelectric power at Kakati border. When they came inside Kivu North, they promised us electricity to start with us before even going to Tanzania. But a disappointment. We have good structured data centers. One of them is Kakamba in Sindro, in Mukanga North, and Changashu in Sindro North. But those two data centers are well structured, there is no power, and even people know they don't go there. And our neighbors there, they start criticizing the government that they have good structured data centers, but they are homes of the bad. Really, as the ministers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Sarah, Woman Representative. Buyende district. My issue is we have health centers, but when you move around Buyende, we are only 2.56% coverage for the whole district. We have health centers like Mponde, which is even a very, very busy trading center, Kabonge, and many others, plus in Burma. We have those ones, but there is no power. Then the 6 schools that have been constructed. We have Irundu, the transformer was picked. I don't know why. And then Buyende sub-county as a 6th school, we also don't have power there. So, Honorable Minister, I please pray that Buyende be considered when you.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in the presentation of the Minister, he mentioned of the project regarding the Get Fit project. Now, the intention of the Get Fit project was to supply electricity to those communities that were surrounding the main hydropower plants. Busongola County North, for example, has 5 main power plants. Unfortunately, Honorable Minister, most of the communities around these power plants do not have electricity. What happened to the Get Fit project in that regard? Second, the projects which the Minister presented, most of them are being supported by either the donors or the loans.
Thank you. Yes. I had already No, I wanted, Koreans when you have elders, yes. I made an elder stand up many times with the woman. And then I didn't know them how.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Both sides of the house, I'm Major Woman from Iran, both sides of the house are in total agreement, very unbelievable unanimity between the opposition and the government side that the country requires power. And the people who he can also, through you also require power. The Prime Minister is here. So for me, I will request that, and I know the President of this country talks to you, just help the Minister. You source alone, government sources alone. I have never said it here. And we finish this matter once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Marshall Alenio, Jonam County. Honorable Speaker, in Papuat we have 42,902 households. Of those households, only about 3,000 are on the grid. The issue of the power lines passing over the Jonam going to Madoko causes a lot of stampede. Honorable Speaker, this phenomenon of power lines passing through the community, yet the people down don't have power, creates a lot of anxiety from the community that is down. That's one of the biggest issues we are facing in Jonam. My request to the ministry is that they should give us transformers, try as much as possible to connect our people, and we have health centers, we have schools, we have all those places which are not doing. But also the minister has to visit Ghana so that they see how urban people pay, so that they subsidize the rural people. If the minister goes to Ghana, he will become a better formula. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 2015, the government gave us a buy from Tiana to Kanoni. But there's a lot of complaints, and I almost lost within those 2 sub-counties. They need their compensation. So I would like the Honourable Minister to come up and take over that challenge. It's now crystal clear that
the Ministry of Energy is the one responsible for all the challenges that other ministries are facing. When you look at the Ministry of Trade, they are crying because of electricity. The Ministry of Agriculture is also crying because of electricity. The Education, the Health Ministry, they are all crying because of electricity. Honorable Minister, can you come up and help us, save us from this quagmire we're in? Because at the end of the day, you can save us. If not, Honorable Speaker, please, like he has requested earlier, come up and help us. Because all the challenges.
Thank you. Honorable President, Honorable President.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, lack of electricity today is beyond an infrastructure problem. It's a serious economic and social development issue. Mr. Speaker, most settlers in urban areas are migrant to rural areas looking for stable and reliable utilities, water and electricity. It is very unfortunate that even the urban sectors, apart from responsive inclusive, Mr. Speaker, has less than 15% connectivity to the households. Mr. Speaker, this causes problems, one, including increasing security. Mr. Speaker, during power outages, our streets, our buildings, our corridors are poorly lit, increasing the potential for robbery, crimes in many aspects. Mr. Speaker, number two, water and sanitation problems. Most of the water plants in urban areas are powered by electricity. So during power outages, water distribution are interrupted, causing a lot of problems.
Thank you. Honorable President.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I think that you give me another minute because
first you to write the one
now, Honorable Speaker, non-compliance to the Electricity Act, Cap 157, is the one that has caused all these problems. Section 63 says the Minister shall prepare a sustainable and coordinated rural electrification strategy plan, present it to Cabinet and in Parliament, which is not there. Then when we go to Section 64, Electricity Development Fund, the government shall establish Electricity Development Fund. 66 says there will be a database. Based on what is being debated on our Speaker, you can see that there is a generic problem. And in the 9th Parliament has recommended and adopted that this ministry be a standard ministry.
Since you used half of your minute to complain.
That this Ministry of Energy will be a standalone, such that it is not conflicting for resources with petroleum, because the resources which are there are not sufficient. There is also a conflict between the Ministry of Energy and the agencies implementing the electrification, like the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company, which does not get money from government. It gets money from the tariff, and now the tariff goes up. So, Honorable Minister, let us comply with the law. I thank you.
Thank you. Now, I use Honorable Genency as a reference. I don't want people to Kashoji. We saw the Speaker will remind to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Genency Tulani from Kashon County. Kashon has very many challenges. One, we have parishes that don't have power at all. These include Weza Parish, Chugando Parish, and London Parish. Mr. Speaker, there are many other hydro centers, including Ichkoni, which have more than 10 cooling machines. They don't have power. We have Demogo, we have Kagando, we have Mabare, and many other places. Mr. Speaker, there are many people who are complaining. They pay for their power, they are connected into their homes, but they cannot be connected. They will be given, there are no meters in the centers. Mr. Speaker, there are many other IFT transformers that are not connected to the national grid. I request the Prime Minister of Energy, please give us constitutional provision.
Thank you. Now, for its a quarter of this house has debated this matter. I think 109 colleagues. You can see we've spent 4 weeks on state of the nation, but we've reached 200. So here we have had 109 members submitting on this matter. Please allow me that we make progress. Honorable Minister. I don't think you'll answer. I don't know how you're going to structure your answer. Kind of the floor is yours, but in 5 minutes you can give us the rest. And you guys can.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would wish to appreciate the members for all the questions and the submissions. Electricity is an enabler for development. We are all aware that the moment electricity goes to a community or a village, it contributes to development of that village. So it is the reason why there is a demand for electricity everywhere. Number two, we have a strategy for rural electrification. The electrification is going to be in two forms. One, the grid, which stands currently at 24.4%, and 38% is off-grid, giving us a total of connectivity of 62.4%. And what's the plan? The plan is to have the whole country connected by 2030. Connected to one or either grid or off-grid. And off-grid is simpler to rate to those, especially distant areas from the grid. As I said, the cost of connecting, extending medium voltage is at 100 million shillings per kilometer. And somebody here actually said he was asked for about 300,000 to connect about one kilometer. That is if you went to the private electricity companies, you will actually get that type of figure. Now, what is the strategy? Where do we start from? We started with, does every district headquarters have electricity? There are only a few districts which are not connected to electricity. Bongi, and then you find Ugoma. They are not connected to electricity. A majority of them are actually connected. Then we said, can we have every city connected? All the cities are connected. We moved from now the cities to the sub-counties. A project which you have heard being talked about, a sub-county project, which Kefa was referring to. There are new sub-counties which are not connected. We have over 600 sub-counties, and we have about 200 sub-counties which are not connected. And we have plans to reach those sub-counties. Now, we are going to move to the sub-counties, to the parishes. Many of you are saying our parishes are not connected. We are aware about it. A parish doesn't have a headquarters. How do we plan to reach the the parishes? We intend to take electricity. We know every sub-county has got a primary school. We are targeting to take electricity to the primary schools at the sub-county, at the parish level. Once electricity reaches a school in a parish, then we shall have reached that parish with electrification. We intend to reach the health centers. If we take electricity to a health center, which is in a parish, we actually count that electricity has reached those parishes. Now, overall, where is our priority? Our priority is going to be, how do we use electricity for productive purposes? How do we get the tenfold growth strategy delivered using electricity? There are two approaches. One, we are going to look at where is agriculture. The small factories which are being cited in our discussions, those are centers which are going to cause growth in those parishes, which is going to cause growth in the communities. And then the second one, tourist sites. We are going to focus on delivering electricity to those sub-counties and districts where there is tourism.
deliberately because we want to address the tenfold economic growth. And then we are going to be looking at mines. The colleague who said Kasanda doesn't have electricity and it's a key mining area. We are going to focus delivering power to the mines, and then we are going to focus delivering power to industrial parks. This is going to be our priority areas. And then the last one, how do we take power now to science-based establishment? Schools are science-based. That's where we get the children to learn science. We are going to take electricity to those centers. This is a strategy which we are following, but taking electricity to every household may not be possible now. We are going to move by priority, what do we do now, what can we do tomorrow, and by 2030 we have a target to reach every household. Right, Honorable Speaker, there are so many questions which have been asked here. If you may allow, through you, I'm going to request the members, I will be inviting you to, by your souls, to the ministry where we can sit to discuss what plans we have for your soul. We have the proposal, we have 18 zones, and we want to do this before the end of September, such that by the time we go to the next budget, we shall have actually captured your demands, and you will have understood what projects have been completed in your zone, what projects are going on, and what are the plans which are in the offing for your zone, and then we shall be able to capture those areas which we shall have not captured. The surveys that we continue carrying out are actually surveys to enable us to plan better. There are those projects which are ongoing. The surveys are done to confirm the sites which have been identified. Surveys are also done to enable us to capture the schools, the health centers, which are our priority. So, colleagues, if you accept, I will be starting to invite you by the fourth week of August, and I expect by October, all of you will have had a presentation of the ministry by your souls. And we shall not only be doing for electricity, we shall also be telling you about minerals. Thank you. So thank you very much, my Honorable Speaker.
Dr. Alete, Commissioner of Natural Resources, be following up on this matter. Honorable Margaret Eshiru reached out to me. She's talking about health centers and hospitals. We need to see a way of ensuring their power is not cut off. Colleagues are going to clean the house for planting dinners. That is, we are planning at 2:35. Continue with the house. That's what we are running matters of national